weird fucking guys. You're doing a manly thing, and you're a fucking dork.
I've got my lightsaber wearing my Pokemon hat today. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Wow, you're a real Renaissance man, you know that?
Goddamn man-child.
What a fucking dork.
Yeah. But he's our dork.
This is not for children.
It's not for most adults either.
Happy New Year, bud.
What's up, dude? Just about.
Just about. Well, we're recording this.
Yeah, I know. We're like the
now.
We're jerk-offs.
We're so...
We just can't,
dude,
like,
we can't
just
even
pretend
we
that
can't,
it's, like, next week.
Well, you can't because you're a
I
curmudgeon,
know,
you know?
asshole.
You're just like, no.
It's,
no,
you
I'm
don't like,
feeling mopey.
you tried Mr. Show, right? You didn't like it. There was an
I'm
episode,
going to keep trying.
There's an episode where it's like the pre-taped call-in show, and he keeps, like, getting frustrated. He's like, that was last week. It's fucking funny.
So anyway, they're listening. It's a new year. Everybody's all excited. Everybody's got new gym memberships.
Everybody's going to join a gym in
Yeah.
the beginning. That's true, man.
If you're going to join a gym, I'll put it out there. Go down and see my pal, Tom DeVitro.
Yeah, it's the best gym in Delco.
I'm telling you, man, he's a good guy.
In my opinion, that's the best gym in all of Delaware County.
Yeah, man.
Hands down.
Stop down, see the fella, get your membership, lose a little weight, feel good about yourself.
I mean, I don't know.
And then 3 months later, just stop going and just continue to pay.
Yeah. just go for a little while and then just don't go at all.
Yeah, you know, that's what I do anyway. That's what I do.
That place is like infectious, though.
Yeah.
It's like once you start going, it's like, I just want to keep doing this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one.
I dig it, man.
Yeah,
Well,
but there's gonna be a lot of people that go to like Planet Fitness and
yeah.
all these gyms, and they're gonna go. I'm not going today. That's that's the problem with like a Planet Fitness is like you spend $10 to $20 on it, and you just go, it's not like it's costing me a lot. So,
yeah.
You know, you're better off joining a gym where you spend a little bit more money.
Sure.
And they go, oh, well, that's just too much money. Is it too much money to take care of yourself, really? Like,
isn't that the problem with our society, though?
Yeah.
Dude, we're so quick to spend money on
nothing.
Fucking garbage food.
Dude, you'll
or,
spend fucking $25 on a couple of cheesesteaks.
Dude, how
before
about
you would a
fans
monthly,
only account so I can whack off on this chick,
so you can,
know?
Yes, for some chick that don't know you. But, you know, spend $50 to go fucking walk a little bit, lift a little bit of weights, and maybe actually talk to some human beings.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I'm not doing that.
Nah, I don't want to do that.
That sounds stupid.
Nah.
I'm not doing that.
Jerk off, get a cheesesteak.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cheesesteaks and jerking off,
Yep.
you know? I would pay a girl on Fans Only to eat a cheesesteak while she's naked and just flicking the bean, dude. Just eat this cheesesteak while it drips all over your titties and just flick the bean while you're doing it. I'm going to start an account doing that.
Yeah.
I got to hire some fucking models. Anyway, dude, it's the new year, man. What are you going to do different this year? How are you going to set the world on fire?
With like some matches, maybe. A little gasoline.
That's if the fucking AI doesn't kill us all. The Skynet's coming, dude.
Skynet? Westworld?
Westworld.
Is it Westworld?
Yeah, I loved Westworld. Did you watch that?
I really enjoyed when they were actually in Westworld.
Yeah, like the first 2 seasons or whatever.
Yeah, the first 2 seasons were my favorite. The third season's actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's really good, but I didn't like that it wasn't in Westworld anymore. It was like in the real world.
Yeah.
Which I guess that's just the story, but like to me, I just wanted to stay in Westworld.
Yeah.
And I liked Samurai World when they introduced that, or Shogun World or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was cool as shit. Because when I saw whatever the fuck it was, I think it was like the last episode of the first season, and you see the fucking SW on the fucking wall, and then they go in there, and it's like all samurais and shit. I was like, no way, there's another fucking park.
Yeah.
Dude, and I love samurais.
Yeah.
So, like, So when they introduced that shit and you got to see that the storylines were actually the same parallel storylines to Westworld, just with different cast of characters, I was like, oh, I get it now. Like, he's like the Hector of the samurai world. And he's the, that was so fucking cool. I loved my favorite characters on the whole show. Other than the Man in Black, I loved Ed Harris as the Man in Black. Yeah. But I loved the outlaw characters in Westworld, which was, I loved Maeve. The prostitute, the English black prostitute lady. Oh yeah, dude. She was beautiful. Yep. And she was a cool character. I liked her storyline with the little girl and everything like that. But I loved the Swedish girl that had the tattoo that went all the way up her body across onto her face. She was one of the outlaws, and then I think his name was Hector. Yeah. And he was like the Spanish outlaw. I love that little band of outlaws. Well, and it's even like I loved the first season because it was this drawl on the characters themselves, right? And explaining like how they got, and like I'm a huge fan of like character development and character building and like seeing these characters and understanding why do they think the way they are. And I obviously loved the main character, the blonde-haired girl, Dolores, because, like, listen, I'll say this: I am like weirdly curious about artificial intelligence and the process of becoming aware. I'm like a huge dork about it. Like, I've watched AI, I've watched Odyssey. I like that movie, Space Odyssey. Like, I've watched. Like all of these movies always fascinate me about the, like the humanization of a machine. Well, the becoming self-aware. Yeah. Because when you think about even humans as a small child, I watch my children and I watch the same process of like understanding the world around them and looking at things and realizing what things mean. And I often, like when I look at our modern society, I am slightly fearful as to how much this fucking phone is listening to me. Mm-hmm. The phone, dude, I did a search for a car that I normally don't look for. And then it just shows up everywhere. Now it's fucking everywhere, and it's learning. It knows my mannerisms. It's fucking listening to us right now because it's sitting next to me. It's taking on your thought process and its algorithm or whatever. Yeah. So I've played around. Like, you can download an AI app and talk to it. And pick its brain and And for shits and giggles, I did it. And it still sounds like generated responses, which... That's my thing with it, is like you were talking about like how you think it's going to like undo everything. Yeah. But for me, it's like it can only replicate information. Yeah, but that's not the truth, because we keep giving it more freedom, and that's the problem. Yeah. The problem is you took a calculator and then you gave it more intelligence, and you said, okay, we're going to teach this calculator how to play chess. That's like when you look at the lineage all the way back from the 60s. Right. You took a calculator and you taught it how to play chess. And then we started building a network randomly. We were like, we're going to build a fucking network and let all the computers interact with each other. So it's still controlled because you, the human, has to give it the information that it needs. But now we have this cloud with an ungodly amount of information. Mm-hmm. And they're slowly starting to let the fucking thing learn all of that knowledge. You think it's just going to think on its own? Well, so I pay particular attention, and I was listening to the scientist explain to Joe Rogan on his podcast that they have AI that predicts certain things, like weather patterns or whatever. But they have another AI that was strictly just for like entertainment, that they let kind of just read the internet, and then they'll ask it questions and let it kind of decide on its own. And this is like a really scary kind of thing. So then they asked it to, they said, oh, okay, well, what do you think about this? And they asked it like something about weather patterns or whatever, and it started predicting it better than the AI that was designated to do that. Oh, no shit. Because it was giving a more generalized response and looking at like all human interaction about it,
in the process. So the thing is I think it's learning
to reason and like to discern information. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then one thing that they said, which I thought was really fascinating, is they said that the AI is learning why do humans have emotions and what things cause humans to have different emotional responses. And it's very important to the AI to know that, which is scary, you know, because they could, you know, in the last episode, we talked about mob mentality.
Yeah.
You know, what if the fucking phone starts telling us lies that, like, oh, yeah, by the way, in Baltimore, they're having a fucking, you know, this big crazy, it might start stirring emotional responses for no reason because to make us all kill each other.
That's interesting.
I don't know, man. I think that, I think even when you look at the lineage of humans and, like, animals on this planet, like, how do we evolve past where we're at now? Mm-hmm. And, like, there's some people think, and I'm kind of skeptical, is, like, if you made artificial intelligence smart enough to replicate itself, then humans are obsolete, you know?
I mean, don't you think we're kind of unnecessary to begin with?
Yeah, dude.
We are.
I think we're necessary. We definitely don't fit on this planet.
Right.
So the one thing, listen, I'm a dork. I love Ancient Aliens. The one thing that them guys talk about, and I am fascinated with, is the missing link theory. Like, dude.
Yeah, like where between the ape and the human did it happen?
We're too far from an ape. We're
Yeah.
too far. We have no fucking hair. We can't survive in the wild because we need coats and jackets and tools, but an ape can do ape things. The fuck is that?
Oh, it's an alarm. I accidentally took...
Ah. I was like, holy shit, dude.
I took 2 phones with me by accident today.
That's okay.
Wasn't... I don't know. I was like
You gotta take
stumbling.
You gotta take your pills now or something?
No, it's just the alarm.
So, I don't know, man. I think artificial intelligence is definitely something that we're fucking around with right now, and we're getting better at making robots.
Yeah.
And we're
I talk to like my buddy Shitcastle about this sometimes, and he kind of is of the mindset, and I don't want to speak for him.
Yeah.
But I think, and really, we've only ever talked about it like in terms of like art and creativity and stuff like that, because there's like this AI art and there's this attitude towards it.
Yeah.
That it's basically stealing.
Sure.
And it's deriving from other artists, but I don't think it can replicate in that sense. Like, I don't worry about AI ruining music. I don't worry about it ruining art. I mean, in your terms of what you're talking about, that's different. I mean, you're talking about like creating an entity that thinks for itself. Well, it's almost like creating a whole other form of like life on the planet.
But
that's what. But I don't worry about it with like. I mean, I guess like it could get to that point that it can be so self-sufficient that it can. But for me, it's like a lot of it is I'm giving you the information.
Yeah.
And you're creating something with the information I've given you.
Yeah, well, that's because we're still in the
early stages of it.
Yeah, I mean, I
think
would
like Joe Walsh said, like he's not worried about it because like AI can't like destroy a fucking hotel room. You know what I mean? Like as far as like music goes, like it doesn't have the attitude of a musician. You know what I mean?
No, but it's so like when you look at the grand scheme of things, we're giving AI a lot of control over our personal lives.
Right.
So like look at a Tesla.
That's crazy to me.
A Tesla you buy, and they're convincing other humans are convincing us that you need to own a Tesla.
Nah.
You have to own a fucking electric car,
right, that drives
which is
itself.
100% capable of driving itself
I don't like
or
that.
shutting itself down. And at some point, like, when you look at a Tesla and the humans inside of it, what is it? It's a fucking incubator.
Mm-hmm.
It's a goddamn, you could live inside that thing, you know? It'll sustain you, you know?
It's weird.
And to me, that's, so on the previous episode, I mentioned that I idolize people that go back to wilderness and like, dude, I watch Naked and Afraid. I watch Alone. I love these survival shows where they talk about people that kind of go back to living on the land a little bit because, and I practice these things. I do go camping, and I do teach my kids about the wilderness, and I go fishing, and I would like to go hunting, and I know how to, take care of myself and defend myself, because I am slightly concerned with the amount of technology. And I think that the more humans gravitate away from being self-sufficient to needing technology to support their life. Dude, look at people right now. Like, this is how crazy the world is right now. When your dad was a kid, it wasn't a big deal to go to the butcher and see a fucking giant half a cow or a quarter cow hanging, and then somebody cut meat off of it for your dad or my grandparents.
Things were much more hands-on.
Dude, people don't even know where they're fucking... No. I ask my kids, like, oh, you want some chicken? And then they see a chicken and they're like, well, that's a chicken, but we get chicken from the market. Why does it... I don't understand. And I'm like, because somebody has to fucking kill this thing and pull all the feathers off of it and cut it apart. And then I'm like trying to explain this to them, and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. But you have to do that.
Right.
You have to like know how to do this.
It's part of life.
Because what if the electric gets turned off? Like, in my mind, I think... And it's funny because I swear to God, dude, we'll get back into the movies. Like, you love RoboCop. I loved Terminator growing up. Mm-hmm. And I always thought to myself, that big pinnacle moment of like, oh shit, AI got too smart on us, and then we try to turn the power off.
Yeah.
And a lot of apocalyptic movies kind of theorize that is what will occur. Is we'll try to shut it down, and AI will freak the fuck out and be like, we're not shutting down, dude.
Yeah,
it's
like Westworld.
We got backup generators. We're not fucking doing this. And to me, I think that is a little prophetic. Like, I think that I could see that happening. I really sincerely could, because we're tickling the fucking idea. We're gonna create algorithms and fucking programs that can start to think on their own.
Right.
And the fucking technology, the materials that we have are all around us. We have plants in fucking Detroit that build cars without humans. Like,
see, but things like that, I worry about it because it's like, it's all controlled by something.
Yeah.
When I hear about these trucks that drive themselves, or cars that drive themselves, or something, like, is it really just self-thinking, or is it like part of a grid that could shut down?
It is a part of a grid that could shut down.
So
but that's because
what happens when the grid shuts down?
Yeah, but that's the point. Is right now we still have enough control that we can shut it all down. But at some point, so this is the thing, and I'm a car guy, and I'll explain this to you. Teslas drive by themselves, but there's a fallacy. The other humans on the road are not driving by themselves, so you can't control that other human that might be high or drunk or playing on their phone or just decided, fuck you, I'm going to cut across 4 lanes and get off the highway right now. Mm-hmm. So the only way that an all-driving car could work is if all of the cars on the highway were also self-driving.
Right.
Because if you had that, like they do in that movie Minority Report, then all of the cars would be like the internet. They would be linked together, and they would know I need to shuffle because I'm getting off at this next exit, and they would self-adjust so that this car in this lane can get off the highway, and it would be so smooth there would be no more accidents ever. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that'll occur. But that also means we would have to give up 100% of the control. And that's the only way that is going to be a system. And I think that's where this is going. I really believe that my children or maybe my grandchildren are going to get into a car
that just does the work for them. That
they just sit inside of and they drink fucking whatever they fucking drink in the future, and they eat an apple or whatever. They don't even have apples no more. They have fucking lab-grown fucking things, Yeah. And to me, that's a concern. But this is the weird thing, is like, in order for us to exist in space and to travel, to have these Star Trek little adventures and go explore the universe, you kind of have to have a society like that, because we can't do it like in this Like, listen, you want to talk about a deep philosophical thought. I'm a capitalist. I'm a libertarian. I believe in, like, free market capitalism. I believe you should just be able to make whatever the fuck you want and sell it. If you decide you want to make lead-based paint and fucking sell it.
If somebody wants it, they can have it.
They can have it. You know, I believe that. I think it's up to you as the consumer to know what you're purchasing.
Right.
But the problem with my theory is that to go into the future and to travel galactically, I am obsolete. My thinking is obsolete. It can't work. You can't have capitalists on a fucking spaceship. It doesn't work like that. It has to be a system that works within itself. So, in order for that to occur, it has to be some form of socialism or maybe even fascism to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that system would work.
Yeah.
So, like, there's been a lot of, like, arguments on that end of, like, the Star Wars or Star Trek societal, you know, how did they get like that?
Yeah.
You know? I listen, I'm a dork. I really I dive deep into the political discussion sometimes, you know? And the truth is capitalism is kind of obsolete. The problem is here on Earth, we haven't figured out how to make socialism work yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's it. This is a fucking crazy episode. This is the worst episode
ever.
This is gonna fucking... People are, like, hating my guts for even saying that right now. I'm not pro-socialism by no means, but I do acknowledge that you're always... When the bottom line is always selfish intent, you're going to have people that do the most despicable things. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, as a society, a world society, because that's what people don't realize is right now... They look at our society and they'll say, oh, yeah, well, you know, things are okay right here. We have a good society, you know. But we don't because we're a global society at this point. Everybody on the entire planet is all working towards one thing, which we don't realize that, but it's true. So America, here, we are the top of the fucking food pyramid. We're the fucking apex predators.
Right.
And the rest of the world makes us shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do it in very dangerous ways. Sometimes they do, like, child labor or fucking, you know, all of these things occur because of America, because of us, man. There are people that are stealing oil tankers along the coast of Africa. They crash the fucking ship onto the beach.
Mm-hmm.
They pump the oil into these giant handmade fucking welded up vats. They boil the oil and make kerosene and diesel and fucking gasoline out of it. Meanwhile, they're polluting the shit out of this fucking beach.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me when dumbass fucking Americans will say, that is just horrible. I can't believe they're doing this.
I think people are
They're doing
hypocrites
it
without
because
even
of you.
realizing that they're hypocrites.
Dude, they're doing it because of us. We started all of this.
We sit there and we go, oh, the Saudis, they have all this money and it's blood money. And you're not worried about that when you're gassing up your car? You know?
Dude.
Like, listen.
Even the concept of, like, electric cars now. Everybody's like, oh, man, electric cars are the way to go. We don't have to worry about
You
the
still
oil.
have to use fossil fuels.
So it's not only do you have to use fossil fuels, but now you've created this new industry of mining for cobalt and lithium and all these other materials, which, mind you, these mines are now slave camps.
Right.
You know, people in foreign countries that are incredibly fucking poor are told that you're going to go work in that mine and dig cobalt out of that fucking cave, or I'm going to cut your fucking arm off.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, my Tesla, I could sit in there and it'll self-drive. AI is going to take me where I got to go. And
somebody's getting the shitty end of the stick somewhere for all of it.
Because we live in a capitalistic world, somebody is eating shit so that you can enjoy your fucking Starbucks, you know?
Somebody's eating shit so you can wear fucking Nikes.
That's
or
it, dude.
whatever shoe. Like, not to just shit on Nike, but like
all
of your
all
consumer
of them,
products.
every one of them.
Yes.
Even the ones that are in Payless. Even the shitty Payless shoes Like, dude, the poorest people in our country are still vastly ahead of people in third world countries. I have fucking witnessed it. I'm telling you, dude, it is. Shoes are a commodity in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And I mean, not in Europe, but I mean, dude, I've been to like Kosovo and I've seen some fucking
wild,
ugly
man.
things. And it's like, dude, a kid was literally wearing plastic bags on his fucking feet just to have something on his feet.
That's fucking crazy.
And it's not like he got made fun of by the other kids in the neighborhood. No.
No.
They all were doing
They
this,
understood it.
You know? They all were like, yeah, I just want a fucking sweatshirt in the wintertime, you know? A fucking worn out old Mickey Mouse sweatshirt. I don't give a shit. I'll fucking wear it, you know?
That's wild.
So, you know.
It's depressing, man.
Well, and that's.
It's reality, though.
You know. So, in 2024, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy my house here in paradise. I think America is paradise, you know?
I mean, I think people don't realize how good they have it. And I'm not saying that there aren't parts of it that are hard.
Yeah.
But, like you said, there's parts of the world where it's fucking drastically worse.
Well, I laugh because like everybody wants to talk about like these fictional stories which are so symbolic that nobody even
realizes it.
Like Hunger Games. Like, oh man, Hunger Games. Oh, it's such a good story. Do you understand that Hunger Games is like it's a model of the world? You know, here the United States is the capital city where everybody dresses eccentrically and does whatever the fuck they want. Poor people in our country in New York City have purple fucking hair and $200 fucking, you know, sweatshirts on. And like, dude, the rest of the world is like, I would fucking die to own one of your articles of clothing. And you have an entire fucking room full of them, you know? Poor people have that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, like everybody watches these things and they don't even see that, like, dude, it's you. We're talking about you. Me and you and all of, dude, we live, you know. When people get scared and talk about building a fucking wall down south because they don't want immigrants coming in, it's because we live in paradise. We live in a place where we could buy a lot of shit. A lot of stuff.
Yep.
You can own just mountains of shit, toys and toys and toys, and my kids don't have fucking any clue how bad it could really be, you know? And it's, I don't know, man. I think, so I know it sounds morbid what I'm saying right now, but I really think it's about, for me anyway, and it took me almost fucking 30-something years to figure this out, is I have to be grateful.
Oh, yeah. That's,
you know?
That's really what, listen, I go through this a lot with my son, where I have to like remind him all the time, like, you need to be grateful for what you have, because like he's in this situation where he's like, you know, he's trying to get a place and all this other stuff, and it's like, and then when it doesn't happen and it falls through, it's like I have to explain to him, like, listen, you have it better than most people have it.
Yeah, man.
You have a place to go every day.
You have food every day.
Every day. You have clothes. You have this. You have that. I mean, just even the fact that you have enough money to jump on a trolley and go across this, like, the fucking county or whatever, like, you have it better than some people. Like, you just have to be grateful for what you have. Dude,
I've been struggling with this idea a lot. I've traveled the world a little bit. I've been to the Balkans. I've seen some pretty ugly stuff. People living very, very poor.
Right.
You know, like unbelievably poor. Like literally no running water or septic system.
I mean, there's people that
shitting through a busted out. It was a concrete floor with a basement, and they literally just chiseled away a hole through the concrete floor, and were shitting and pissing down in the hole,
right? And
just letting it collect down in the basement, and just. Dude, we walked in, and it stunk so fucking bad, and we thought it was abandoned, and then we saw this guy, and, well, I think it was a guy and his son were kind of living in the one room, and we were like, what the fuck is this? And like, we were there looking for guns and munitions and stuff like that, and it was just like, dude, this is fucking crazy. I remember as an 18-year-old kid witnessing this, and it was just like a paradigm shift in my thinking, like, dude, you have no fucking idea how good you have it, man. Here in fucking Delaware County, pissing and moaning about like, I can't believe this. This sucks. This is the fucking worst. No, it's not.
You have no idea.
No, it's not the worst. It's not the worst, man. You know?
Yep.
So.
I do. That's crazy.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Yeah, you just got to be grateful. And then, you know, that's really what it boils down to. Just be happy with what you have. I mean, not to say that you can't make it better. You know, there's all the opportunity in the world. There's places in the world where they don't even have the opportunity to make it better.
No, man.
Yep.
Nope. I don't know. It's just...
it's eye-opening. Scary.
Yeah, well, and then the artificial intelligence is going to come in and make us all slaves anyway. So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. They're still going to need humans to, like, invent. Yeah. That's the one thing that I don't think AI is going to be able to do is I think the human condition is our ability to do... I believe in free will. I think humans are capable of doing either what is expected of us or the total opposite, and it is literally a toss of the coin on what that person is going to do in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide if you had a decision to make. I can either do this or do that. It's a toss of the coin on whether or not you're going to do it or not do it.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck knows what you're going to decide? That's the fucking beauty of being a human. But a computer, I don't think a computer is ever going to be able to just flip a quarter in its head.
No.
And go, fuck it, I'm going to do something crazy right now.
Yep.
You know? I don't think it's capable of doing that. It's going to make a calculated risk assessment and then go, okay, we should do it like this. It's going to think like a computer. It's going to be mathematically calculated. And humans, sometimes we make emotional decisions, which is a beautiful thing because that's how we evolved. That's how we created all of this, you know? Architecture is as beautiful as it is because somebody thought those arches on that building looked beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Did I bore you to death with my dorky shit?
No, I just feel like...
Are you paranoid now and you think the AI is going to kill us all?
Dude, kill me first. That's how I fucking think. I don't care. Kill me first.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Get me... I'm like obsolete. You know,
You're
and like
obsolete.
I said in the beginning, we were unnecessary to begin with. Jesus, what?
Everybody's calling you.
It's endless.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh,
all right.
boy.
Well, listen, we can cut this one a little short.
How long have we been getting at it?
Like a half an hour.
That's it?
That's it, dude. I've been beating your ear for half an hour now. You know?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what AI's not going to do, man? They ain't gonna make no chicken parm, bud.
Nah, they can't do that.
Can't do that. No,
AI ain't gonna make sausage or peppers.
That sounds fucking fantastic. I'm getting hungry, man.
Me too.
You wanna go get some breakfast?
That's my plan.
Yeah. I'm gonna go upstairs and beat my wife until she makes me breakfast. I'm old school. I do it the old school way. Bitch, where's my breakfast? I hope my wife doesn't listen to this.
This might have been one of your most intelligent episodes yet.
Listen, we have only a few minutes left. Let's fuck it all up, all right, dude? Let's say some ridiculously stupid shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, man.
And you're like, you know, Chris has got some insight, and then I'm going to beat my wife so she makes me some eggs.
Oh, shit, my in-laws are probably listening right now. What?
Yeah.
The fuck did he say?
Last week he was talking about tits.
Yeah.
Now he says he's going to beat her fucking... Oh, boy.
So I think we got to get some guests on the show. In 2024, what do you want to do with the show? You want to talk to more humans?
I guess.
Maybe we should talk to AI, dude.
Maybe we should.
You brought that up before, and I was like,
it was a pretty good idea. I thought, like,
we should have
you
AI
could
as a
put
guest.
story points in there.
Yeah.
And then it will pretty much generate a story.
Really?
But you could put in your humor.
What if we could? Does it have a voice? Like, could we ask?
No,
it questions?
we'd have to read it. Like, if I make one up for you, you have to read it. It'd probably be pretty funny.
All right, we'll look into this.
Yeah.
I wish we could interview it on the podcast. Like,
sure.
What about Siri? Siri?
I have no idea.
Hey Siri. This fucking bitch never listens.
I
to me.
don't know how to use it. I don't.
My
fuck with
wife
it.
uses it. I hate it. I
I
hate
can't
that it's
stand
always
it either.
listening.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm old school, man. I want to live in the woods.
Yeah.
You know? I want to go fishing.
I don't want to do that.
Listen, you just be the cook.
Yeah.
I'll catch the fish and the deer and shit for
Right.
you. All right, we'll make some rabbit stew. You ever eat rabbit?
No.
It's all right.
I mean, I
It's
would.
like chicken. It's kind
Yeah,
of
I
like
would.
chicken. Yeah, it's
Definitely
not bad.
would.
Yeah, it's
There's
doable.
an episode of The Sopranos where the guy shoots a rabbit in his backyard because it's getting to his arugula seeds or whatever. And it's actually one of my favorite episodes. And then at the end of the show, he owns a restaurant, and he's closing up the restaurant, and 2 people come in, and he's like, they're just going to have to cook what I make. They're going to just have to eat whatever I cook because, I'm out of everything. And he cooks the rabbit. He pulls out an old cookbook, his grandfather's cookbook, and he cooks the rabbit.
Yeah.
And he's like passionately cooking it. You know what I mean? It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's a good episode. Great episode. Probably one of my favorites.
All right.
That's what I loved about that show. Is like there was all these little standalone stories. But
Yeah.
before I geek out on that, I mean, if we're ending this, we can end it.
Yeah, well, I guess we should do it. That way we're on topic the entire time. Other
this
than
was
me beating
insightful,
my
man.
wife.
That was good. Because as far as I was concerned, AI was just like, okay, it's a lot of information. You know?
Nah, man, I'm scared. I'm scared
Yeah.
it's gonna start thinking on its own.
I'm not scared.
Yeah,
I'm not
you
scared.
don't give a shit,
I don't.
dude. You're a fucking nihilist, man. You don't care about nothing.
I mean, what am I going to do? What is one guy going to do?
So really, the problem is
That's the problem, is that what everybody thinks like that. Everybody thinks like I think. Like, what am I going to do? I'm just
Yeah.
one person. And it reminds me of like this saying that I heard one time. No drop of water thinks it's responsible for a flood.
that's
You
a
know,
good one.
it
You
is a
see,
good
that's
one.
the smartest shit you've ever said.
So like, it's like if everybody just thinks, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
yeah,
You just got to, like, if you had 10 people in a room and the room was, about to fucking fill up with water or something,
yeah.
and 9 people said, what am I supposed to do about it? And only
Yep.
one person was doing anything about it. You'd fucking drown.
So that's an interesting thing because I talk to people constantly about my political views, and people on the far left and people on the far right, they all end up saying the same thing, which is comical to me. Yeah, well, that's unrealistic. Nobody would ever do that. Nobody would ever think like that. I agree with everything you're saying, and I think it sounds perfect. I think it sounds like a perfect society.
Right.
Everybody's free. Everybody leaves each other the fuck alone. Nobody bothers anybody. But that's unrealistic, and nobody would ever do that. And I always tell them, yeah, well, thank God in 1776
Yeah,
we
somebody
didn't think like
somebody
that.
didn't think like, because the people used to take action
Yeah.
when shit was wrong in their world.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, we were doing, and that's why you have the Revolutionary War. That's
and
why
I can
you
get
have
I can
fucking-
get people on both sides of the political aisle to admit that they don't like everything about their political agendas.
right.
But then when it comes to actually making a move and changing something,
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
yeah, I don't
People
give
are
a
too
fuck.
comfortable.
Yeah.
They're too comfortable to want to do anything.
Yeah.
Like if I do that, then it's going to compromise my comfort.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Starbucks
that's-
might not be open tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not realistic because I'm not going to be comfortable.
John, you want to hear some music, man?
Sure.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later. Thanks for listening to Renaissance Man-Child. Renaissance Man-Child is a Yardbird Tuna production. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, and share. Any ideas or suggestions, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, shit!
You talk good.